everybody. It's Myranda Love here with you, the CEO and founder of Ninja Growth Strategies and international best-selling author. And today our guest is Breanna Gunn of Breanna Gunn Enterprises. Awesome and excited to have you there. Welcome, Breanna.
Thank you for having me.
Great, glad to have you here. So Breanna has been a client of ours, and she has gone through our Business Coach Accelerator, where we help coaches and consultants get high-ticket clients online using LinkedIn, working 5 to 10 hours a week with no ad spend. And it's a great opportunity to have Breanna here. I know that she's gotten a lot of results on LinkedIn, and I always love it whenever my clients love LinkedIn as much as I do. So just really wanted to share. I know I saw that you had made $80,000 in 2 months on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
That's such a great success. I know that's, I've done that and more, and that's what we're doing. And it's and a lot of our clients have as well. So it's so exciting whenever you've had that. So we'd just love to just kind of have you start with a little bit about your business and maybe where you were before you came to work with me.
Yeah, so I am a copywriter and consultant, and I specialize in marketing strategy and content. And I was largely referral based before I found you. I didn't really have a strategy for going out and finding clients. And when I was on LinkedIn and I was on Instagram and on all the places, but I wasn't really leveraging it to the best of my ability, and was able to take what you taught me and expand it and make it work for me. And 2 years later, has it been that long?
Yeah, it's been a little bit almost.
Yeah. LinkedIn is my primary source of revenue, and it's a really amazing and incredible resource for people.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love hearing that. And you're right. For the B2B space, it is without a doubt the best place to get leads and clients. And what I love about LinkedIn is that, first off, there's almost 1 billion users on there right now, and they are very receptive to professional offers, because the only reason why you would have a LinkedIn profile is if you're looking to grow your business or your career. And so they are, very receptive. So I know a lot of my clients who, like you, who have been using, Instagram or Facebook, they definitely say that the caliber of the clients and the leads and the connections that are on LinkedIn, that they're more serious about.
They are. I get a lot of tire kickers on other channels. And LinkedIn, it's so funny. They're always like, I've never made a decision this fast before, but your message was just, it hit me right in the feels. And I'm like, that's what it's supposed to do. And I've shifted away from a marketing message to more of a just like, let's talk about how we could possibly benefit each other kind of thing. And that seems to be working really well right now, especially with what's going on in the world, because a lot of people are gun shy. And so understanding that even on LinkedIn, where most of us are business owners or employees of some kind, that decision-making process has been extended and expanded. So being a little less forthright in, hi, I'm looking for clients versus, it looks like we have some things in common. Why don't we have a conversation? Is working really, really well for me.
Awesome. I love that. And, you did hit on kind of the times that we're in. So we're doing this video right now at the start of 2021, and for a year pretty much of being in our pandemic right now that we've had. And so that's whenever you were able to do the 80K on LinkedIn in 2 months, right in the middle of it.
Yep.
Wow. That is awesome. And I think it is such an opportunity right now for coaches and consultants to take advantage of the virtual space. Ones like you had been speaking and relying just simply on referrals and maybe networking clients. And that kind of has dried up right now.
Yeah, it's really hard. I'm still speaking, but the summits aren't nearly as effective as they were prior to the pandemic. Things are just moving at a much slower pace. And so being able to leverage LinkedIn has been a godsend, because I can go as fast as I want to go.
Yeah, definitely. It is a great place on there. So would you kind of want to share any how it was working with me in the program?
Yeah. So, you're fantastic. I loved going through your program. It was incredibly easy to implement, and your team was hyper responsive. All of the Q&A calls were great. I learned so much. not just about how to market using your techniques on LinkedIn, but also about my boundaries and how I market my business. It really forced me into a period of growth that I probably wouldn't have gone through if I hadn't met you, because I had to step into being the CEO of my business versus just kind of hanging out and hoping that a client landed in my lap. And so, you know, here 2 years later, I've hit multiple six figures. I'm doing all of these things that I never thought I would be able to do. If it weren't for that, 90 days where I really put my head down and worked really, really hard to turn this into something. So yeah, if anyone's on the fence, jump.
Okay, awesome. I love that. I love hearing that and having your successes, multiple six figures. And that's why I actually say that I help coaches and consultants, make their first six figures online using LinkedIn, or their next or multiple ones. I know multiple is definitely, what we do and what our clients do as well. But for a lot of coaches and consultants that are out there, that elusive six figures is something that they've been trying to reach for a long time. And a lot of them just really are struggling and have been at the poverty level or below. So that's why I really pride myself on being able to get them up to that level, because that's a game changer, 100K or more. For a lot of people, it is really a game changer. Would you say?
It really is. And it's more than just the money, the growth process that you go through because you have to know your target market. You have to really ask the hard questions that I think a lot of entrepreneurs gloss over. It's easy to go, oh yeah, I'll do that later, or oh, I'll figure this out later. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, and going through the process in a very articulate way, the way you present it, really forces you to kind of come to terms with those answers to those questions for your business, instead of just trying to figure it out and continually playing a guessing game or throwing darts at a board.
Yeah, without a doubt. And one thing as well that I love about LinkedIn, and I'm sure you do as well, is that not only do we can speed things up there and they're receptive to professional offers, but it's with no advertising dollars.
Yeah.
That you're able to, so this really has a huge ROI. I know I've seen you really show up in the marketplace since you did initially do my program, as you were saying. But I've seen you even kind of doing in groups and Facebook ads. But you're using that LinkedIn money to run those ads, right?
I am, and the ads are running to other programs that aren't my high level, high ticket. They're filling my, my courses and my other stuff that I have going on for residual income, so that LinkedIn, I focus solely on high level one-on-one clients when I'm on LinkedIn. That is all I'm looking for. I don't want to sell a $97 course. I don't want to sell a $500 course. I want to sell a $10,000 package. And so being able to go out there and connect with the right kind of people after I now understand who I'm targeting and how I'm targeting them, and efficiently going through the process of finding the right people, getting connected with them, being able to talk to them in a DM or commenting on their posts, it accelerates the process, and it really builds that know, like, and trust factor that most of us struggle with.
Yeah, without a doubt. And just a way of reaching the right people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The search capabilities there, are awesome. And so it really is a really good platform. So I know that you had watched my webinar, which, if anybody's here, I know she said, if you're on the fence, then take the action. But I do have my webinar. It's how to make your first six figures on LinkedIn as a business coach, and get high-end clients on LinkedIn with no ad spend. So I know you had watched that. And if anybody here, they want to check that out, that's actually at businesscoachaccelerator.com. And would you say that's a great place to start?
I think so. And it gives you enough of an overview that you can make an educated choice about whether or not this will work for your business. And I would say, short of being a roofer, this is a program that will work for your business. It doesn't matter if you're in network marketing or social media marketing or copywriting. If your business runs in the online space, as we move further into 2021 and we are still isolating and still staying separate from each other, you have to have an online presence, and you get to make a choice about where you show up. And starting with your, you know, your videos so that you can kind of see the potential is a really awesome place if you're not sure.
Yeah, definitely. I know a lot of people always get a lot of results from there, or they get a lot of information from there and see what's possible, and then they go through my funnel, my process, and you know, see all the testimonials as you know, that we have with our clients and all the case studies, and so then it just kind of like, okay, it makes sense. I'm missing out here by not being a part of this. Was that where you were?
Kind of. And you know, I've been trying to crack the code of how do I separate myself from being a solely referral based entrepreneur. And I knew I had to do something different. And LinkedIn was something everyone tells you, you know, oh, you can find clients on Instagram, find clients on TikTok or Clubhouse or wherever you are. You were the first person that was like, listen, LinkedIn has all kinds of cash. Don't wait. And it really, you got me at a good time. And everything that you promised happened. So it wasn't like, you know, sometimes you buy courses and you're like, well, that was fun. You know, this is actionable, and you can start taking action from day one. And it's not, you're not sitting on your laurels and waiting for something to happen. You're actually seeing the results immediately, which is super unique.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. And you know, the results are all yours. You know, you do put in work, and it is a little bit different than an you know, it's not an info only product or just kind of an online course. It is, I call a high impact program is what I run and what I help our clients run as well, because you do get, it's a mentorship style program. Yes, there are trainings and modules that you go through online at your own pace, but I do have you know, the live Q&A and the help desk where I make sure that my clients, you know, are never left alone, that they have all the support that they need. So I definitely have been really proud of you and the way that you kind of showed up and to go through the program. And so I would also like to say another thing that I'm really impressed with you, and also the clients that always come in and get the results, is, you know, you were resourceful to be involved with this, and knew that you looked at it as an investment in your business. And would you say it was a good one?
Yeah, I know my investment has paid me back many times over at this point. And I was able to make my investment back in the first, I want to say it was like the first 30 days I was able to find a client. And so it wasn't, you know, it's scary. It's scary to invest in something when you're not sure it's going to work. And when, you know, maybe you're the first person it won't work for, but this is something that you have the case studies to back it up. You have all of the testimonials to back it up. You've got clients going through this consistently who are actually getting results. And that's what makes such a difference. You know, I've been following you for a long time before I ever reached out. And I'm so glad I did when I did, because I can't imagine still being on the struggle bus now that I know there's a better way.
Yeah, I think that that's awesome, especially now, you know, with the pandemic, where, you know, a lot of the tools that you were using before, even though you were kind of in lacking consistency there, and then a little bit of feast and famine just from that. I mean, that really would have dried up now for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have been toast.
Yeah, definitely. And a lot of the clients and the people that we speak with are in that exact same position. You know, they've been relying on networking and speaking, or just that word of mouth referrals. And they are like, okay, that's why I, you know, love doing my program, is because they needed to have this last year or the year before last, but now it actually is pushing people forward to take their business online.
Yeah. And it's something that you see results rapidly. It's not something you have to wait for, which I love, because I'm very impatient. And so I get bored and I'm like, okay, this obviously isn't working. And I don't often give things enough time to percolate.
Yeah.
And with your program, it's like you start taking action from the minute you enroll. And if you do the steps, they build on each other. So you're seeing greater and greater success the longer you implement.
Yeah, definitely. It is something. It is an 8-week program that I run here, my Business Coach Accelerator, but you don't have to wait 8 weeks to get clients. Like you were saying, you had your first one in 30 days. You know, you start calls booked usually as quick as, you know, the second week. And a lot of times, we do have clients that have 0 on LinkedIn. They don't even have a profile, where we're able to help them grow by about 1,000 or so brand new targeted connections on there every single month. But the ones like you had been on LinkedIn, you had been trying things, but just really were not converting any offers. So what would you say were some of the key changes that you think made there on LinkedIn versus what you were doing before?
I think for me, the biggest thing that made an impact was understanding the power of actually using the direct messaging, because it's so easy to get lost in a sea of posts. It's a lot harder to get lost when you're showing up in someone's inbox. And that was for me. I'd been trying the posting game. I posted articles, I did all the things, and nothing was happening. I still don't have great engagement on my posts, to be completely honest. It's not something that's high on my radar. I have other things to worry about, because I know that that's not necessary for me to close, $20,000 in clients in a couple of weeks if I put my mind to it.
Yeah, you're exactly right. A lot of people are posting, and they're spending a lot of times and even sometimes paying somebody to help them to create content for that, and also writing those articles. But then they're not. Whenever we speak to them, I'm always like, okay, do you know how many? Are you actually getting any leads or any calls booked from that? And they're like, no. And so just kind of like you. And so that's not the strategy that we use on LinkedIn. We do use the target reach there and using some of the other tools. So it's not, I very much consider myself to be a lead gen, kind of what it is that I teach, as opposed to just basic social media strategies.
Yeah. And the thing is you update the course to keep it relevant. It's not like you filmed the course 20 years ago and it's still the same course. Not that you would even have been filming 20 years ago, but everything was very relevant and very right now. It was obvious that you take great care in making sure that the best information possible is what's being presented.
Yeah, definitely. Because I actually have been running this program now I've been monetizing LinkedIn since I became an online entrepreneur in 2010. This is my 3rd business. Having sold the other 2, I was asked to coach, kind of asked to mentor people on LinkedIn. But you're right. I have been running this program now for almost 4 years, and it is, and I was able to, it's the exact same system that I was able to use to launch my business to $25K per month in the very first 8 weeks. And, the hundreds of others like you that we've helped with that. So a lot of times people think it's just a pie in the sky dream whenever I'm throwing those numbers out. But I mean, you're testament to that it is a reality.
It is. And the thing is I am special. I think we're all unique in our own way, but I'm not so special that I got lucky.
Yeah.
It's the system and implementing consistently that gets you the results. I'm still using the same tenants today.
That's awesome. That really how you showed up and how to use that system. So I always say, if it's a proven roadmap, it's a step-by-step. And so if people are like, oh, I don't know if it'll work for me. Well, if you have the ability to follow a proven system and, you're coachable, you're willing to try something different that other people have achieved. I mean, if you're able to do that, then yeah, it's going to work for you and not just give up at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Absolutely.
So so where can people find you if they're looking for your help?
They can find me at breannagunn.com on my website, or anywhere on social media at the Breanna Gunn.
Okay, awesome. And even, LinkedIn, of course.
Of course.
It's a great way. And you mentioned Clubhouse. And so we can hit on that really quick, because I just joined that. I think I saw you were talking about FOMO too. I had major FOMO with it, fear of missing out, for anybody that's familiar with that term. And I've always been an Android and a Dell user, but because my background was in accounting and operations, and I actually had to purchase my very first iPhone so that way I could be on Clubhouse as an early adopter. And I've only been on there a week, and I actually got a first full pay client.
That's exciting. Yeah. So are you hosting rooms, or what's your strategy there?
Yeah, so my strategy there, and I'm still cultivating things, but I actually I got the full pay client, and I got 2 calls booked this week as well that say on my form from Clubhouse. So what I'm doing there is I actually do, the cool thing about that is that they're looking me up on LinkedIn, because for those of y'all who are not familiar with Clubhouse yet, it's still in beta right now. So it's just on the iPhone app. They will roll it out to Android only. They will roll it out to Android once they get everything going. But again, it's just in beta right now on iPhone. And it's an audio only, they call it audio only drop-in social networking site. So it's for people who love to talk and love to kind of learn, but there's really no text on that except for in your bio. And then you link your Instagram and your Twitter if you have that, but definitely for business coaches, you want to also reference in your bio, your LinkedIn profile. And that's where people are reaching out to me, and they're actually, getting in my LinkedIn funnel then, and, getting on my email list and booking calls with me. And so the first client that I did get from there, he had been actually somebody that had been on my email list and was actually in my phone as a contact. And so he was the very first follower that I had, because I think it zoomed, like Clubhouse was like, hey, this person, because he had been on my list and had been a contact. And so then it was just kind of him seeing me there, knowing that he had been getting the emails, kind of like you, been getting the case studies. And from there, he reached out and booked the call, and knew that it was time to go ahead and do it. So it was just kind of that extra level of authority for me right now. But then my strategy for the 2 new calls that I did get booked this week, I basically, when I got on there, I did look and search and followed my ideal clients, and that's who these 2 brand new prospects are that booked the call, where they came from. And then I have hosted my own rooms. I don't have tons of people in there yet, but then I was able to, I ask questions whenever I'm on there, whenever I am in other people's rooms, and I ask questions. And so that always gives, I'm able to say what it is that I do, which is intriguing to the right people. And then they, you don't really pitch on there, but they will look up your email. They will look at your bio if they're interested in what you say. And then again, take that action to reach out with you. They do go to my webinar there, or book a call, or reach out to me on LinkedIn. They're like, okay, she's talking about LinkedIn. Let me see what she's got going. And I have that already filled. I have my funnel again on LinkedIn. So once they go find me there, then they come into everything that I've got going on. And that always works as well. But I did get to host. So I've had, like you and I'd love to do some things with you. And
I love that. That'd be fun.
And another one of my clients, and then somebody else that I had been in a program with several years ago, she had already been doing things on Clubhouse. So actually yesterday I got to, 2 times, I think she brought me on stage to be a moderator in her groups. And so I looked right after that, between just with me getting to talk on her stage as a speaker or moderator, they call them, I had 30 more followers just from that. So
it's crazy how fast it grows. I hopped into a social media management room because my best friend had opened it up with one of her, another social media manager yesterday. And I jumped 12 followers. There was only about 30 people in the room, but I got 50% of the room to follow me.
Yay.
It's crazy how quickly you can stack up those numbers right now, because it is very targeted. Are you finding that scheduled rooms or drop-in rooms seem to be working better for you?
With me doing them, I did a scheduled room, and again, I'm still learning this out. And I had whenever I did a scheduled room, and I had invited my email list because I had some invites, so I invited them. And I did have a couple people on there, but I had made the mistake of posting it in somebody else's club, and I think it up to the people in the club, and I didn't realize, again, we're learning. I didn't realize that until later. And then so I've done a couple of just like impromptu rooms, but again, as of right now, I haven't had I haven't had tons of people on my room, so I feel like the traction that I'm getting there is from being very specific, just like what I'm doing on LinkedIn. Be very specific with my targeting, with who I'm reaching out to. On there, I look for for business coaches. I mean, that's who I help, business coaches and consultants. And so, you know, everybody doesn't follow me back, but a lot of people that you reach out to, then they're going to click on your profile to follow you back, to see what it is that you're doing. And just like copywriting, you know, that is a wonderful skill, the number one skill that I think everybody should learn if you're going to be an entrepreneur, especially in the online space. And then sales, which I know you've been doing some teaching on that, and without doubt, you can get all the calls booked. And I, you know, learned that too. I could get all the calls booked I needed from my copywriting. And I used to would sell just on sales pages, you know, for low ticket, because that's copywriting. But in the higher ticket, you know, higher end coaching and consulting space, I mean, you really do need to have a phone call. So it's that sales process that I know, you know, we help our clients with as well. And it's really what it is that you say, to get back to copywriting. It's what you say in that bio, and you're not really limited on text. I've heard they kind of tell if you put too much, like that, they give you some, like they give you some notice, like, oh, maybe you could shorten that, you know.
Right, but I mean, my bio is large, and I've seen bios that are twice as long as mine. Yeah. So, you know, and I think it's also about the order that you stack your bio in, you know, like, because only so much shows up above the fold, and making sure that you leverage that space with the most important links and ways to follow you is really, really key.
Yeah, you're right. So that way you do show up. That's what I heard was the very first, you know, the very first couple of words is make sure that you, so I definitely have, you know, LinkedIn expert, helping coaches make multiple six figures this year with no ad spend on mine. And then I have where it links to, you know, my webinar, a place to book a call with me, to follow me on, you know, LinkedIn and a Facebook group as well. So it has all of that there. So that's really the only text. But I am excited about that platform. I know you are as well. But LinkedIn again is still without a doubt the number one, you know, B2B or B2 professional is what I call it as well sometimes, because I help executive coaches and life coaches too. But, you know, we help them target their offer to professionals that have the resources to invest in their program and the desire to continue to better themselves. You know, so that's again why they would be on LinkedIn. So I think the two platforms work really well together. I do like Clubhouse because I'm able to, you can keep it playing while you're driving or while you're going for a walk, and you can hear some information. I'm actually going to be doing some audits, LinkedIn profile audits. That actually had one, I was going to schedule it for this time, but then we did this interview. So, but where other people, you know, so if you want to follow me on Clubhouse at Myranda Love, then I will be doing where if you put your LinkedIn profile in your bio, then I will pull it up on my computer and give you some feedback of how to turn that into a converting sales letter. You know, on LinkedIn, it's not, a lot of people think it's just the job resume, you know, you need to have it on for a resume, but for if you're looking to get business and clients, instead of a resume, you want to have it to read like a sales letter, you know, very much specifically to your speaking to your ideal clients, and not, you know, you're not speaking to an employer. So it's a different type of language and copy that you would use. Would you find that?
It totally is. And if you know, one thing that really stuck out for me through your course was the way you speak on LinkedIn is different than the way you speak on Facebook, is different than the way you speak on Instagram. And I knew that, but it's helpful to have someone else validate. You know, I write a lot of copy for a lot of different platforms, so I know you have to speak differently depending on what the copy is. But to be reminded that speaking at a higher level in Clubhouse is on par with the LinkedIn feel of that professional first. And I think it's really, really important that you do make sure that however you set up your bio, because there's really no rules right now, you know, mirror someone you admire and has a good growth strategy, you know, mirror you or me or someone on there who is actually active and doing things that you want to emulate.
Yeah, definitely. It is a very professional network, and people are receptive again to the professional offers. So that's why I just help business coaches, you know, executive and life coaches again that are targeting we can help them target those professionals, and you know, and consultants as well. But I only help people that I know 100% that my strategies, are proven to work. And so that's why I do have occasionally some, dating or relationship coaches that reach out to me. And, I haven't proven those strategies there on LinkedIn. I'm not saying that you can't get clients there. I mean, I'm sure that people are getting them, but because I do view it and LinkedIn, they put themselves out as a professional network, that's what they say. So I like to keep my my offers there and help my clients keep their offers there in a professional space, helping people grow their business or their career, or really have more fulfillment overall with their lives, because then they might change careers or might start their own business, after they
Right.
once they work with a good life coach. We've seen that happen time and time again with some of the ones that we've helped. And I actually used to get back in the day, whenever I was writing my book, I would get some life coaching clients there on LinkedIn as well. So it is a great space. But I will say, whenever you said mirroring people, I just want to speak briefly on copycats because I actually had somebody, I think she found me on YouTube, but she went through my funnel and copied my messaging, she copied my emails, she copied my LinkedIn profile, she copied my webinar, and again, my emails. So she had booked 2 calls with me and canceled them. So we didn't ever look at her profile, but one of them, the third one, even my pre-call form, like it was like where I say, you got to watch the webinar.
Right. Yeah.
It was copied. And so whenever she forgot to book one of the calls, and it just happened to be booked on my calendar as opposed to my sales team. And so we always pull up, obviously, their LinkedIn profile, to prepare in advance before the call. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this was my exact same profile. So I did have to get a lawyer involved with a cease and desist and, for copyright infringement there. So do your mirror model. I always like to say, and do work with that mentor as well.
Yeah. Don't copy verbatim, but use the tenets that you see, if it's the order of language or the use of emojis or a certain phrase. Like someone had posted their superpowers and I loved that. So I messaged her on Instagram and asked her and said, hey, I really, really love that you did this. Would you be okay if I did that too? And she was like, oh yeah, I'm like super flattered. Thanks for asking. Like, I don't own the word superpower, but had I copied her profile verbatim, I'm no longer me, which is just, I can't even. But 2, there's enough clients out there for everybody. And, if there's one thing that I've learned, it's that people are going to copy, but you can teach the same thing, but you have to put your spin on it. And you can't fake the knowledge. You either know it or you don't. And if you're copycatting someone's funnel to teach LinkedIn and then people buy, and it's going to resolve itself.
Yeah, it's the client,
because they're not going to be able to get the results.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. And so it's their clients that I feel bad for. If that's the only strategies that she has is copying somebody else, then it's, not good for them. It's not good for anybody. It's not, at the end of the day, it's not going to be good for her either. And because, I've been monetizing LinkedIn and figured these things out for almost 12 years. And so then, to put somebody that's now just kind of copying, trying to, again, I don't own LinkedIn. There are other people that are teaching things, but you just be careful whenever you are deciding who to work with, and really look, do they have case studies, do they have videos like this, are they getting results for themselves as their clients as well, or are they just kind of pulling things out of their hat and copying other people? So just be careful about that. Is one of the
go with the original.
Yeah, definitely. Go with the original. I appreciate that. So I will just, if you are interested in anything that you're hearing here and you want to take things further, I do recommend the best place to start with me is where Breanna had started, is with my, you can look me up on LinkedIn. That's great. I'm Myranda Love there, but it's to go ahead and go to my webinar, the free web class. That is the most valuable 45 minutes that you could spend on how to make your first 6 figures this year as a business coach using LinkedIn. With no ad spend, and again, not working tons of hours. I know are you still working part-time or less, or part-time?
Yes, I've actually increased my hours only because I can.
Yeah.
But I'm still squarely in the part-time field. I'm just working more like 20 hours versus 10 hours. So
Yeah, yeah, I'm working not more than 10. It's to be able to do that multiple six figures again with no ads. So I've got a huge, profit margin there, and then working less than 10 hours a week. It's not bad at all. So if you want to see how we're doing that and go ahead and get started, that's at businesscoachaccelerator.com. Again, that's at businesscoachaccelerator.com. It's a great place to start. And then also, after that, if it seems like you want to find out, you want to talk one-on-one with either me or a member of my team and really see how these strategies would work for you, give you a chance to ask questions, then go ahead and book a call with us at ninjagrowthstrategies.com/growth. And I will put these links in the description here, but again, that's at ninjagrowthstrategies.com/growth. And Breanna did share where you can find her as well at her website. And then, so are there any parting words? Again, you had said earlier if anybody was on the fence to do it, but
yeah, if you're on the fence, jump. It's working with you is the best investment I've made in a long time because it has paid itself back tenfold, and it has given me a much better strategy that puts me squarely in control of my leads. And so if you're someone who's wondering where the next meal ticket's coming, don't wait.
Yeah, that's awesome, because you're right. It is kind of scary whenever you're having to invest in something and you don't necessarily have the money in your bank right then to do it. Most of the clients that come to me, they don't, because they don't have this system. But to be able, there are tons of resources that we have for our clients, and a lot of them use PayPal credit, which gives you 6 months to pay interest free, or just kind of put it on a credit card or multiple credit cards. But it's an investment. It's not like you're, shopping or taking trips. That is an expense. It's not going to pay you back. I mean, this is something that, our clients with their first client, usually in the first 30 days, then it's a huge ROI for them already.
Mm-hmm.
It's a no-brainer, honestly. And I know I wouldn't have gotten to where I am today without investing in mentors. So I definitely do walk my talk with that. And I know you do as well, Breanna.
Yeah. And you're one of the best mentors I've ever had. So
yay, that is awesome. Thank you so much for being here with me. And hopefully people did find this valuable, with our strategies on LinkedIn, and then also that little overview of what we're figuring out there on Clubhouse. So it's been great, and we look forward to speaking with y'all as well, and actually I'd love to do an interview with whoever's watching this, so we can get y'all those results too. So we'll talk soon, okay?
bye.
Bye.